undefeated featherweights will fight when Oroville, California's Tyler Diamond battles Washington's Nathan Stolen. Training in Sacramento with the famed Team Alpha Male camp, Tyler Diamond looks to shine in his TPF debut. At 26 years old, Diamond's pristine 7-0 record is highlighted by 5 stoppages. Tonight, he looks to keep his sterling record intact as he climbs the ranks of the TPF featherweight division. Looking to steal a spotlight will be Aberdeen, Washington's Nathan Stolen. At 4-0, Stolen has earned victories without a single opponent hearing the final bell. Tonight, he looks to take home another stoppage when he hands his opponent the first loss of his career. Straight ahead, it's Tyler Diamond meeting Superman Nathan Stolen.
Here we go, guys. This is the one I've been waiting for, Leslie. Welcome back to Tattoo Palace Fights 31. If you're just joining us, it is Jim Cooley, the voice of champions, along with UFC bantamweight Leslie, the Peacemaker Smith, and making his way to the cage right now is...
This is Nathan Stolen, right?
Superman, by the way, is his nickname. And Nathan Stolen, now listen, I can't emphasize this enough. 6-0, all the way from Aberdeen, Washington, taking on a guy who's 7-0. And Superman told me earlier on, when this fight is over, I'll still be the Superman.
Dude, he started in 2016. He fought in June, July, September, October, and November.
That's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
5 fights in a year.
4 fights is like a big deal. It's not like a big deal. 4 fights a year is legit.
Is a big deal.
Yes, exactly. And he was fighting not just multiple times, not only over 4 times, but he was fighting every month. June followed up by July, and then he went September, October, November.
Now let me give you something else about that to even add to that. In those first 5 fights, he spent a total of 9 minutes in the cage. All of them were finishes, and all 6 of his victories, including the one in 2017, has been a finish.
Awesome.
No one has made it to the final bell with Nathan Superman Stolen.
4 TKOs and 2 submissions. I wonder what his plan is for tonight.
Last fight was a first-round TKO from knees March 18th of this year, so it hasn't been very long, Leslie, a couple months for the Superman.
He walks in looking very confident.
His opponent is no slouch as he makes his way to the cage, Tyler Diamond. Now let's point this out, okay? 5 knockout finishes in his 7 fights. That means only 2 men, Leslie, have avoided being sent unconscious by Tyler Diamond. So this fight, I mean, I honestly, this could have been a main event on any other show. Of course, at Tattoo Palace, you've got the best of the best, so it's somewhere up toward the top, but it didn't quite make the main event. But I mean, we're looking at a main event caliber fight here right now.
Absolutely.
And for Tyler Diamond's part, his last fight was also a victory, so obviously they're undefeated, but this should be pretty good. And you've got Team Alpha Male's Tyler Diamond, and he's got Owen Carr in his corner, and Owen Carr's pumping him up right now.
It looks like Tyler's first fight this year was in March, and he also got majority of his fights last year. He had 4 fights last year.
Absolutely. Any guys who come out of Team Alpha Male, and I can't tell from this, yeah, he's got Clay Guida in his corner, one of the most exciting fighters to ever fight in mixed martial arts in the UFC, Clay Guida, and he's over there pumping up Tyler Diamond. It's a star-studded event here at Tattoo Palace every single time.
At one of my very first fights, my 3rd pro fight, it was for Bellator against Kerry Vera. I was listening to the replay, and someone was like, "Shades of Clay Guida." And I went on and Googled Clay Guida, looked up all kinds of stuff, and then I realized that they were saying Shades of Clay Guida because my hair was all over the place.
He's a caveman. He's also a tremendous fighter, and to have him in your corner is a big deal. And Tyler Diamond has a great team behind him over there. And let's look at the tail of the tape. Both 5'7", both 145 pounds, both undefeated. The only difference, Leslie, is 2 years in age. Both of them in their mid-20s, and it is Superman, who's just a bit younger, and 1 less fight. And let's send it up to Tyson Johnson for the official announcements in this tremendous undefeated versus undefeated fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Tattoo Palace fight will be 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. And it is the first. Fighting out of the blue corner, this fighter stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 145 pounds. He represents Bad Company MMA with an undefeated record of 4 wins and 0 defeats. He hails from Aberdeen, Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nathan Superman Stolen. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 145 pounds. He represents Team Alpha Male with an undefeated record of 7 wins and 0 defeats. He hails from Oroville, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tyler Diamond. Your referee for this bout will be Jason McCoy.
So here we go, 2 undefeated fighters. Someone's O has got to go, and this is going to be a tremendous fight. Team Alpha Male for Tyler Diamond taking on Nathan Stolen, all the way from up in Aberdeen, Washington. And this should be a good one. Here we go.
Crowd is excited about this fight.
Absolutely.
Both of these guys look, they even almost look similar. They got similar body types. They both look like they're in shape.
Nathan Stolen in the black trunks with the red trim, and the brown trunks for Tyler Diamond of Team Alpha Male. And there's a big left hand from Diamond. Nice jab right up the middle, lands it again. And they're feeling each other out, but very quickly, as they both move in and out of the range and try to land shots, and that jab is landing quite effectively. It is, but Stolen's doing a really good job of keeping his chin down and tucked, so they're not doing the damage that they would do if he didn't have such good form. And Tyler Diamond has that classic Team Alpha Male body, short, compact, and put together. And Superman's sort of laughing at him as he throws those fights. He keeps giving him a little grin every now and then. Ooh, nice right hand from Tyler Diamond. Superman fires back, and again he smiles at him. And they're content to stay on the feet right now, Leslie. And Tyler Diamond has a little mouse under his right eye, although I feel like he's landed more significant strikes. Two tremendous athletes right here. You can just see the difference in the level of fighters here. I mean, all these guys are great fighters on this show, but these guys, both of them are tremendous fighters. You can tell that they're forged inside of gyms where it stays hot. Yes. And now, looking for the takedown is Tyler Diamond. Will he get it? No, right back to his feet is Superman Nathan Stolen. But Diamond continuing to put pressure. He drops some knees in there. Those knees are devastating. If he can hold them there and just keep going, 30, 40 of those. And keep in mind, when you can hurt a guy's lead leg like that, you take the power out of his punches, and Stolen was able to flip him there. Nice scramble by Stolen. Back on his feet. Yeah, great scramble there. Big left hand there from Stolen. He eats a jab, and he's eating that jab quite frequently from Tyler Diamond, is Nathan Stolen. A lot of action here early on in this fight. First fight after the intermission as we move up to the upper portion of this card. Nice knee, and that looked like it could have been a little low. And I think Stolen knew it, and he told Tyler, I'm sorry. Now Jason McCoy gets clued in on the situation, and he'll give Tyler Diamond a little chance to shake off that low blow, inadvertent, from Nathan Superman Stolen. As we await Tyler Diamond to get ready, don't forget you can hear me and Leslie Smith every Thursday on LastRoundPod.com, and that is the Last Round podcast where we've had the likes of Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and others. And here we go. Tyler says he's ready, and he comes out and throws the jab. 2 in a row. I really like Diamond's jabs. I really like his jabs the way they're coming out. And now it looks like maybe he got a little get back there, Leslie, inadvertently, but he landed a little low on Stolen, who says he's okay. Double leg takedown. Quickly switched levels did Tyler Diamond, and there's some nice elbows from the bottom. Really nice elbows from the bottom. But I don't think they're going to be as devastating as those elbows from the top. Absolutely not, and Tyler Diamond is relentless from the top position. Stolen needs to keep him close, Leslie, as Diamond tries to posture to get range for those strikes. What can Stolen do here? Well, he's got a choice. He can either, like you said, keep him close, try to get a hand on his neck, or hold his head down. Either of those, although I don't recommend grabbing the head the way that he almost did, but he didn't. Or he can try to make distance. He can try to get his feet inside, his feet on the hips, and then start pushing away. And at this point, I wouldn't stay there. He's in a really bad spot with the cage right behind him, and that angle, it's really hard to get any kind of power to move or really to avoid any punches. So at this point, I would say get your legs inside and try to get some kind of a guard, whether it's a butterfly guard or a half guard, and get away. Yeah, and for his part, Tyler Diamond is, like I said, just relentless from the top. There's reddening on the shoulders, the arms, the forehead, the nose, the chest. of Superman Stolen as he is just taking abuse. And it looks like he's trying to get out of here, Leslie. Perhaps a wall walk. Now he's going for a guillotine.
Well, that's what see, he keeps going for the guillotine, and as long as
there is blood gushing out of the head of Tyler Diamond. You can see it dripping down the side of Superman, who's also bleeding, by the way.
As long as Diamond makes sure, as long as Stolen makes sure that Diamond cannot pass his guard when he goes for
now he
those
gives up his back.
guillotines, and it's a whole different game now.
Big high knee there from Tyler Diamond, and Tyler Diamond's cut, it looks to be above his eye. I'd like to get a better look at it, but both men bleeding, but the more damage to Tyler Diamond, which is shocking considering he's been just landing shots for the last, 1 to 2 minutes here.
And they're back in the same position where they were. Let's see if Diamond can be the one who gets the blood out of Stolen this time.
I will say this, Tyler Diamond is much less active than he was in this position earlier on in this round. Perhaps maybe a little bit of punching himself out, a little fatigue there for Tyler Diamond as he was trying to finish that fight.
Ooh, or maybe he's just picking shots like that one that he landed instead of opening it up and giving the opportunity for Stolen to land the elbows that he was getting from the bottom. I really liked how at the end, as you were talking, he was holding him down, and then he pushed off the face, and there was only enough time for him to land that one blow. There was no time for Stolen to sneak in any of those tricky little elbows from the bottom.
And both of those can work together. When you do get tired, that's when you do start picking your shots, because okay, I gotta be a little more economic here as we look back at the replay. A lot of action early on. Big right hand, big left hand from Diamond, who just could not stop landing that jab. It was just finding a home every time. There's the scramble you spoke of. Stolen got out of that.
You know what, I saw
Double
some
leg.
knees. I guess y'all talk about this before I talk about the other stuff.
And this was kind of the story of this round, Leslie. Tyler Diamond in the closed guard of Superman Stolen and landing a lot of shots. Now go ahead with the knees.
Well, if I was Diamond's corner, I would tell him to keep doing those knees after he's finishing up with a combo. Doing the combo and then finishing with the knee, because those were landing. And Stolen wasn't dipping excessively, but they were getting somewhere.
Absolutely. Right out of the gate, Diamond throws a right hand. Let's see if he goes back to that jab, and he does. And right as I say it, he lands one.
Both of these guys are opening up with their throwing. They're throwing a lot, but they're both doing a really good job of keeping themselves covered, keeping their chins down and their shoulders up.
That's the second time that Superman has used the cage to stop himself from getting taken down, and McCoy may need to do something about that. Obviously, he's not doing it on purpose. It's natural reaction to reach out and grab whatever you can when you're on your way down to the ground, but twice now it's stopped him from getting taken down, and now Diamond is on top of Stolen again. This time, though, he is not caught in the full guard. He's got one foot trapped in there, and it looks like he's going to pass, Leslie.
He shouldn't. He should just stay there and keep landing blows. He had his right knee over the bicep of Stolen, and so he had no way to block his face. Though that's the best time to land those punches.
The story of this fight is that Tyler Diamond is on top, and Nathan Stolen cannot figure out how to get out from underneath him. Now he's going to pass. He's looking to pass, I should say. It looks like he's going to get it. Side control here. And he tried to immediately sweep him.
That was a battle of the cores right there. For a second, it looked like Stolen's core was going to win out. But no, Diamond stayed on top.
Now he's going to turn again. North-south. Tyler Diamond, a great wrestler, obviously coming out of Team Alpha Male, home of some of the best wrestlers in mixed martial arts. So he's training with these guys on a daily basis, and it shows.
His wrestling is looking good, but what's beautiful about it is that he's using it with his jiu-jitsu and with his strikes. Because you can take a great wrestler and he won't win an MMA fight because he's not going to be able to convert all those takedowns into ways to score. And he, with another nice elbow.
Now let's not fail to point out here that Tyler Diamond has been to 2 decisions. For his part, Nathan Stolen has never been to that decision distance in a fight. So will that factor in now, Leslie, the fact that Tyler has fought all 3 rounds and Nathan Stolen never has?
Who knows? I guess that we are going to find out.
And now he's back to his feet, and the jab immediately snapping out from Tyler Diamond in the brown trunks. Nathan Stolen in the black and red. Misses with that left hand and immediately falls down, reaches for the leg of Tyler Diamond, but Diamond able to get position here. Stolen needs to be careful here. If Diamond gets that leg out and is able to take it, he could get the back here fully of Nathan Stolen. Stolen doing a good job of not letting that happen. And Tyler Diamond's hand is just right in that cage, Leslie.
It is all up in the cage. I'm kind of surprised that nothing has been said about the cage.
Unbelievable. And now
Grabbing.
they'll separate again. A lot of swelling under both eyes of Nathan Superman Stolen as he is taken down again. And we see ourselves in the familiar position of Tyler Diamond in the closed guard of Nathan Stolen, with Stolen up against the cage.
So I don't think that we have stats of how much time Diamond has spent on top, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's been all of the time on the ground. Has been
most of the time, yes.
Diamond on top.
Stolen was able to have a couple of good scrambles and get out from underneath and create distance. He has not been on top, though. He has not been on top of Diamond. If he was, it was for a fleeting moment. He just cannot quite figure out. And as we said, keep in mind, Stolen's had all finishes. He's probably not been in this position very often, Leslie.
Diamond's doing a great job. He's not opening himself up to those elbows from the bottom. He's staying really close, really tight until he's ready, and then he's just popping up and coming straight back down with those elbows. Smart. I think Stolen, I don't think he can hang out on the ground here. I think that he should try switching to a half guard to try to get up, oh, there is a half guard, trying to get up and get the underhook and get to a single, or try to wall walk, maybe push up against the wall and start tripoding up. But staying here is not helping him.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us, guys, this is TPF 31 live from the beautiful Tachi Palace Resort and Casino in Lemoore, California. I am Jim Cooley, the voice of champions, along with my ever-present broadcast partner, Leslie the Peacemaker Smith, UFC Bantamweight. We are 6 fights in, and we're about halfway through this 6th fight, and it is Tyler Diamond of Team Alpha Male on top, where he has spent most of this fight on Nathan Superman Stolen from Aberdeen, Washington.
And he is right in front of his corner, and his corner is giving him great instructions. They're telling him, don't even try to pass the guard, just stay there and keep landing, because in MMA, half guard is half mount.
Absolutely. And that round ends pretty much the same as the first round did, with Tyler Diamond on top and landing significant strikes on Nathan Stolen.
Yeah, it's definitely 2 rounds for Tyler Diamond at this point.
Shoulders going up real high there for Tyler Diamond. He looks like he might finally be getting a little tired, Leslie. It can be tiring to be on top of a guy the entire fight and just be throwing strikes.
And that's what you were saying, is that this is going to be one of the first times of going all the way through the entire 3 rounds, 15 minutes of fighting.
And there we see one of the scrambles as Superman tried to get Diamond off the top of him, but Diamond relentless, like an anaconda, just staying on top of him.
Yeah, see, Stolen keeps trying to go for that head when he's on the bottom, but it's not the time for that.
Something that I'm noticing, Leslie, on these takedowns, they're not real textbook takedowns. He's just sort of bull rushing Stolen, and Stolen just sort of goes down. And it's not, I think it's because he's doing it at such a right time. Stolen's throwing a strike and he's off balance, and that's right when Tyler Diamond rushes in and takes him to the ground.
Well, he's got that tenacity. It's not often the first takedown attempt. It's when you string together several of them, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Absolutely.
and then just keep pushing.
3rd and final round, uppercut from Tyler Diamond, and he is landing strikes. And
once
Stolen's just taking them.
Yeah. Once you've got that many takedowns, it opens up an entire, nice. This is what I'm talking about. It opens up a whole new realm where you can fake the takedown and then come back up for the strikes. You can fake that up and down and use the up and down in ways that you just couldn't before.
In football, they use the run to open up the pass, and in MMA, they use the takedown to open up the strikes, and that's exactly what's happened for Tyler Diamond, although he was he was landing significant strikes earlier on in the fight as well, even prior to the takedown. We haven't seen that jab a lot in the last sort of 2.5 minutes of this fight, but here we go again. Tyler Diamond on top of Superman Stolen, landing significant strikes. Although the production of the striking has gone down quite a bit in Tyler Diamond since that first round.
But that's why it's sometimes the most exciting to watch the end of a fight instead of the very beginning, because the end of the fight, you see the things that people want to do, but at the beginning of the fight, you see what they want to do. At the end of the fight, you see what they go to automatically, what their instinct is, what they've trained the most.
Absolutely. And we've seen it before, Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva losing the entire fight and then coming back and winning with about 20 seconds left on the clock. So do not count an undefeated fighter like Nathan Stolen out of this fight. He is 6-0, and he does have 6 finishes. So if Tyler Diamond is to get extremely tired somewhere in the next 3.5 minutes, Superman could still pull this fight off.
It is possible.
Although he has got to be extremely far down on the cards. I don't see how a decision could ever go in the direction of Superman Stolen at this point. We may have even had a 10-8 round at some point in this fight.
Yeah, it would need to be a finish. Although at this point, there's a chance that could happen. Even though they're on the ground right now and it's Tyler Diamond on top, he's going a lot more slowly. Some of that's probably intelligence.
Almost escaping there was Nathan Stolen. He tried to come out the side there and spin around. And instead, Tyler Diamond, man, like I said, Anaconda, he doesn't have a nickname yet. That's the one he needs. He just grabs on and doesn't let go. Now it looks like we might get a submission attempt here, Leslie Smith.
Yeah,
he's got one of those arms trapped. What can he work from here, Leslie? Obviously he can work a Kimura. What else can he work from here?
You know, I'm not actually seeing a lot of submissions that I can see that he can get. What he can get is the stand-up. He can hold Tyler Diamond down for long enough that the ref just stands them up because no one's accomplishing anything.
Absolutely.
And they can start over again.
Although he's unfortunately not doing very well with the striking department either. I almost feel like at some point Superman just has to get on top, and perhaps he can work his top game, because that's the only thing we really have not seen yet tonight from Superman Stolen.
But in order to get on top, he's going to need to stop trying to wrap that head and start trying to dig for the underhooks and come around from one side to the other.
His arm is trapped, or he had his right arm trapped underneath there to Tyler Diamond. He still does, and now he's gotten it out. And more of the same, Leslie, in this fight. And not to say this is a boring fight, because it's not by any stretch of the imagination, but what we've seen from bell to bell has basically been Tyler Diamond imposing his will and effectively dominating this fight.
Yes, I would say that dominating is the appropriate word at this point.
That might be my favorite sponsor logo I've ever seen. It just says Jim the Barber. Jim the Barber, the sponsor of Tyler Diamond.
I don't know how much you paid, but he got the best spot.
He did, especially in this fight when the guy's on top the entire time.
Best spot on the shorts.
And what a show so far tonight as we watch more of the same in this fight. We've seen some tremendous fights. Don't forget that big main event still coming up, as well as our co-main event of the evening. And we've just got a lot of more action left to go. Van Palacio, Chris Lewis, JC Yamas, Buddy Wallace, and of course Cody Gibson, Adrian Diaz for the Featherweight Championship, TPF 31. Hope you at home are enjoying this stream live on SureDog as we watch the last 40 seconds of this fight. And barring a miracle, it looks like Tyler Diamond's going to take home a decision victory here tonight at TPF 31.
It does, but that
now he might get a finish.
That's no reason to look away at this point.
Absolutely
There is
not.
still a lot going on inside this fight.
Now look at this. He used the rear naked attempt to transition into full mount. For his part, though, Nathan doing a great job of keeping Tyler Diamond close and avoiding a lot of, although as I say that, Diamond's able to get his right arm out and land some forearms and some elbows.
Yeah, hanging out inside the guard is not a great place to be inside of MMA. Holding the person down, it's not the most effective. Not going to win a lot of fights.
So what we saw here tonight was two undefeated fighters clash. And unfortunately for Nathan Superman Stolen, he was unable to solve the riddle of how to get out from underneath an obviously superior wrestler in Tyler Diamond from Team Alpha Male. And that was it. That was the story of the fight. I believe it's probably going to be 30-27 on all three judges' scorecards.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Taking nothing away from Superman Stolen, I hope to see him again. It was just not the matchup he was looking for. Perhaps he never really got to implement his game plan.
It might even be 30-26. There might have been...
As we look at the replay, and there's Diamond just throwing Nathan Stolen. And you can
that's
see,
that shot-reshot.
Yes, where he's not letting up. When it doesn't work the first time, he just flies back in, as you said. And this, unfortunately, was about the best moment for Superman, was when he was able to stop the damage.
And there is a shoulder crank that you can get inside of there, but it was going to be tough to get the angle for it.
Now you look at Tyler Diamond's face close up after you see the dominating performance as he is congratulated by Clay Guida, UFC veteran, but you look, his right eye is black and blue. He's got a cut above his eye. He didn't escape unscathed. Superman did damage.
This was no walk in the park. This was a fight. He dominated in the fight, but he had to fight for everything that he got there. Nothing was given to him. The stand-up, he got tagged a couple times when they were standing. All those takedowns, he didn't get the first takedown in any of those. He had to do shot, reshot, reshot in order to get it. And then when it was on the ground, he even took damage on the ground.
Meanwhile,
from the top position.
We just had our first decision of the night. We went the distance. It was our first fight without a finish. Of course, it was our 2 undefeated fighters. If we were going to see a decision victory, it was going to be these 2 guys, both of them just elite athletes. All right, guys, Tachi Palace 31. We're live from the beautiful Tachi Palace Resort and Casino, Lemoore, California, on SureDog.com. And as we await the official decision, the judges doing the math, and they'll send it up into Tyson here very shortly. And you saw matchmaker Richard Goodman actually come into the cage to congratulate both fighters in a tremendous fight.
Heck yeah. If I was the matchmaker, I think I would probably do a little victory dance after that one myself.
Absolutely. So still to come, guys. Do not turn away as we have Van Palacio taking on Chris Lewis in a big fight coming up next, and that's a heavyweight battle. We'll see that 3-1 versus 1-0. Of course, JC Yamas is in the building. He'll be taking on Randall Wallace. In the main event, Cody Gibson, Adrian Diaz, champion versus champion. Let's send it up to the Iron Man, Tyson Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for both of these gladiators. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 exciting rounds, Judge Bellardo scores about 30-25. Judge Salcido scores about 30-25, and Judge Lawley scores about 30-26 for your winner. By unanimous decision, out of the red corner, Tyler Diamond.
No, Leslie, you pointed out that it might be 30-26. I pointed out there might be a 10-8 round. There was more than that. It was 30-25 on 2 of the judges' scorecards. So, blowout victory there for Tyler Diamond, 2 undefeated fighters. And we just saw Richard Goodman, the matchmaker, just came by the live stream here and said he doesn't know about 10-8s.
But it was a good beating.
But it was a good beating, he said.
Pretty good beating.
You're putting together some great fights here tonight, Richard.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad everybody's out here. Hopefully everybody out on the streams enjoying it as well.
Absolutely, and that was matchmaker Richard Goodman. As we see Tyler Diamond with his team Alpha Male. All right, so as we look at the replay here, Tyler Diamond, I mean, not a lot to talk about, Leslie, other than the fact that Tyler Diamond dominated the ground game. And
once he was able to get that ground game and get those takedowns, he was able to fake and go between the shots and the takedowns at will.
Absolutely.
Opened everything up.